Hello, empathic energies. Welcome to Inner Being Awakened. And this is a timeless twin flame pick a card reading. The first card we have, the first stone is Howlite, which is really good for calming and soothing. The second pile is Orange Calcite, which is really good for a boost in your creativity. And the third pile is Lapis Lazuli, which is really great for opening up that third eye chakra. And these readings are for the Twin Flame Collective to help the empathic energies or Divine Femme, which is male or female, to come heal, come more into that heart-mind balance and become a conscious co-creator. And as we step more fully into our empowerment, it helps shift that mind-only divine mask into the divine masculine energy, into that. So they become balanced since everything is interconnected. And if you like the reads, like and subscribe. And I also have a Facebook page, Twin Flame Journey to Empowerment, where I often post specials for card reads. So if you want to join that, it's a private group, so just send a request and I'll add you to that group so you can get specials on my reads and such. Yeah, so I'm just going to set an intention for this reading. I'd like to invite in our guides, the angels, enlightened beings, ascended masters, divine source energy to help bring healing messages for the Twin Flame Collective to come more fully into that healed space and into empowerment to shift as within, so without, heal within, and then help in the healing process that's taking place on the planet. So thank you for joining me. Okay, so we've got pile number 1, Howlite. Thanks for stopping by. So the two cards that I already pre-shuffled, we have, this one is your surrender card, and this one is your law of attraction action card. Okay, so it says, surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with a healthier alternative. Okay, and then the law of attraction card. This is what we have here. It says, when focusing upon solutions, I feel good. Focusing upon a solution brings you positive emotion. Focusing upon a problem brings you negative emotion. While the differences are subtle, they are very important for you. When you are feeling positive emotion, you are attracting into your experiences that which you want. When you are feeling negative emotion, you are in the process of attracting that which you do not want. So it seems like there's a little bit of addictive loop happening here. So to really step more fully into that healed, empowered space, it's about really acknowledging the areas where you're really feeding things that aren't helping your body or helping your mind or helping you step more fully into your truth. So really taking a look at them, and why are we feeding ourselves certain things that aren't good for us? You know, is it because there's we're focused on problems and that's our way of having that instant adrenaline rush? Well, you know, when we shift the way we think and really think about the solutions and how to fix something and how to bring more abundance and health and happiness, then we can really help work on shifting into a state where we aren't being fulfilled by low vibrational things anymore. And then we'll move on to your tarot cards, which is the energetic resonance between the connection. So you know, this reading, it's New Year's Day 2020. This is a timeless read, but for the collective going into 2020, I feel we're really starting to step into that place where those things no longer serve us anymore. I feel like we're just kind of cutting out the last little bit of that addiction process. So it's a really good state to be in. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So Pentacles are that earth energy. So that material energy. So it says a new start, which is great to heal away those addictions, which will bring in new offers, new ideas. Seven of Pentacles, investment and growth. So once we really, you know, set our intentions and our focus on creating a healthy us, we're gonna have that new start, and we're gonna have growth, and we're gonna have new things coming in. And it looks like, you know, this person's out in a field of wheat that's ready to be harvested. So it's like we've been working on really planting those seeds, but once we have this new start and really focus on the solutions, this is going to come in quite quickly. So you know, it's been in a process. Those seeds have been planted. We're going to just clear out the last little bit of addiction that's in there, and abundance is coming in. And really, once that material abundance starts to come in, that's us being in that empowered, and then healing away addictions, that yin yang heart mind balance. So this is really exciting. And I'm going to get some messages from your divine counterpart, just to see, you know, where they are at. So we got, I know I never take things seriously, but I'm serious about you. And just as you're starting to get serious about your growth, about healing away addiction, about coming more into that joyous state and focusing on things that we truly desire, as you get serious about you, they get serious about you. Because loving you makes them love you. That's the way these connections work, and they're set a certain way. And then the next one is, I fucked up so bad, like real bad. So they're starting to have that awareness, just as you're starting to have awareness about the addictive behaviors you have to heal. They're starting to have the awareness that they did some unhealthy things to you as well. So it's all a mirrored connection, as we know, and every time we step more fully into our power, they step more fully into their heart, their knowing, their interconnectedness, and how their reactions created certain outcomes. So really keep, you know, focusing on your work, empaths, because this is amazing. You know, it started out a little harsh, but you know, I see the progress happening here. And then I'm going to pull a card for healing. And I also do these as private reads, just quick mini twin flame spreads. And on my site on Etsy, there's a link in the description. It's only $13, but if you join the group, every so often we'll have like a flash sale for it. Okay, so we've got the card Voyage, which is journey. So really, you know, this ship is out there in the ocean on its own. Like, it's like you're that ship, you're on that journey. There's a bird up here in the sky, and it's almost like it's a guide. Okay, so really taking that voyage inwards, that journey, and really tapping into that intuitive space and listening for what comes, and it's going to help you really step out of those experiences that aren't healthy for you. And it's really hard when we're shifting out of karmic loops, because it's our comfort, right? And to, you know, and it's almost like this boat's floating. It's not even on water because we've got the shadow underneath. As you journey within, it's almost like your vibration's being raised. So really take that time to go within, listen to the intuition, because it's going to help you break out of those addictive patterns, those loops that aren't serving you. And every time you step higher into your truth, your purpose, it helps your divine counterpart love you more as well. As you love you, they love you. So just really go within and take that voyage and trust what you're getting. Then I'm going to get a message from you to your divine counterpart. I got a taste of my own medicine and it didn't taste nice. So what happens on this journey, as we open up, we meet that twin flame connection. It's like we finally feel this sense of home, this sense of peace within someone else. And we feel like on cloud nine. It's like this sense of love that we've never experienced before. And they're showing us, in the beginning, they show us what we need to get for ourselves. So then what happens, since we've been in many lifetimes, because through the process of evolution and our consciousness and all these difficult experiences, they evolve our consciousness through many lifetimes. But with evolution is usually war and usually drama and usually a lot of karma that gets built up. So as you meet this connection and then you start to open up and you go in separation mode, there's a healing that takes place. And during this healing, there's a lot of karma that we experience. And so we experience another aspect of our connection. And so the karma isn't always very nice because we're shifting, we're healing to shift out of those loops as quickly as possible and learn our lessons and grow and evolve and come back to more love and understanding and realize everything's interconnected. But the process, oh my goodness, what a process it is. It's the most intense work you'll ever do is going through that karma, because it's breaking through all those fear-based thoughts and ideas, and so once we go through all that karma, we can understand our divine counterpart much more depth and love and compassion for the way they choose to do what they do. You know, we may have judged in the beginning and thought, you know, it's all them, they're nothing but a problem, but we realized that they mirrored our fears and insecurities, and vice versa. And those decisions that they made, we understand why they did it. And that's what helps in that healing process. So you're at that space where you've really almost come full circle. You just have a little bit of work left to do. So happy healing, and I really look forward to hearing down in the comments how this resonates with you. And if you need any personal coaching, just check out my Etsy store, join the Facebook group Twin Flame Journey to Empowerment. I'll put all the links in there, and I wish you the best for the year ahead. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by pile number 2, Orange Calcite. So the first cards that I have here are your Surrender card and your Law of Attraction card, which is more of your action card. Okay, so it says, surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. When we're in control of trying to control everything, we can't let the divine flow. And the divine works in very magical, mysterious ways to make things come into fruition a lot smoother than our mind can comprehend. Our mind is what wants to control. It wants to know how everything's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And a lot of times, once you start to work with spirit, you realize spirit is so much more powerful than the mind. So just step back. You know, when you're trying to control, it's because there's a fear there. Reach deep down and realize, what is it that's creating that fear that I feel I need to control how everything turns out and how it goes. Have more faith. Put more faith into the universe and into, you know, that you are a part of the divine plan. So really surrender your desire to control people, situations, things. And this goes hand in hand. I am not here to create sameness. Okay, when we try and control, we stick things in a box and expect it to be a certain way. But in that, we are not in our empowerment. In an empowerment state, we are all unique, living unique experiences, and in a chain link, it all interconnects. And that's what interconnectedness is about. Everyone being a piece of that whole, that holistic aspect. And everything works so much more amazing and flows together in divine ordinance, and everyone has a purpose in that way. When we try and stick everything in a box, nobody really can fit in that box, and that's where all the fears come about. So really take a time to step back and connect in with how you can shift out of that. And this action card is going to help. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beings, or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. So really trust in divine flow. And this is going to help you raise your vibration and step out of fear, come into a more healed, empowered state, that yin-yang balance, which is what we want to get, as within, so without. When we heal ourselves, we also heal the world, and we step into that interconnected space. So really, practice flow, practice trusting, having faith that everyone is, at a space where they need to really come into their own being. And our minds might not be able to understand how that's going to happen, but to trust and have faith in the greater plan. And this is going to help you heal, and it's going to also help your divine counterpart come more into their heart space. So I'm going to pull the tarot cards for the energetic resonance between the connection right now. Okay, so we've got hope and faith, and we've got 3 of Wands. Okay, so upright, hope and faith, rejuvenation, alignment. 3 of Wands, waiting, proposals, rewards. Okay, so as you do that healing action, this is where you retain that hope and faith. With hope and faith, we're shifting our thoughts from lack to abundance. And when we shift our thoughts create our reality. So really focus on those surrender and healing cards. And this is what's going to happen. And from there, you're going to step more into passion. Wands is that fire energy, that passion. And when we're in that passion, we're in that spirit energy. We become abundant co-creators. And it says there's going to be a bit of a waiting time because you are shifting those thoughts. So, but that waiting is going to come. With that waiting is, it may seem like it's a non-active space to be in, but waiting can also be letting the flow come to you. And that's where, when you open up those lines to just let abundance flow to you, you get proposals, you get rewards, you get things, that you would never expect come to you. And then once they come, you can decide what you're ready for, what you're ready to bring in, and where you're ready to create more. So really good cards. Once you get past that need to control, you're going to be stepping into more flow. And then I've got a healing card. Now I'm going to do the unspoken words between, so messages from your divine counterpart. And everything, especially these connections, very interconnected. Okay, how accurate. The cards never lie. They're always bang on. This does not come naturally to me, and I am here for you always. Okay, so just as it doesn't come naturally for you to, let flow come in, and you're just so used to, making everything happen, and, it just seems like that's a lot of energy that's being wasted by trying to control the way everything goes. And just as that is not natural for you, this feeling that this connection creates for your divine counterpart, it is not a feeling they're used to. and it's overwhelming. And so just as it's going to be tricky for you to shift your energy, as you do that, it's going to help them to step more fully into their heart space as well. So know that as you're working on that, it's going to help them to receive that feeling that's not so natural for them either. And the more that we do something, the easier it gets and the more it becomes natural. So you have that to look forward to, and that can be like almost like use that knowing to help push yourself forward, to propel yourself. And that's what these connections are used for. And then the second message from your divine counterpart is, I am here for you always. And that just goes with your card, being that person that likes to make sure everything's going to work out the way it should or perfectly. It's showing that you are a devoted person and you want everything and everybody and everything to come into a fair space. Well, they're the same, because they're saying that they are just as dedicated. Okay? And once that goes into flow, they will be able to show you more. So just keep doing that healing work, because it's going to help the two of you. Okay, and then I'm going to pull another healing card. Oh, this one wanted to come. Offer. Okay, so just as you start to work on clearing that old vibration, it's going to help that offer come in. And it's a single rose, and it's almost like I've only got eyes for you. It's that red rose, which symbolizes love. And so that is going to be coming in, and it's all divine timing, which divine timing is you working on your energy to raise into higher frequency, which is letting go of lower vibration. And then we've got a message from you to your divine counterpart. It wasn't the right time. Okay, so you knew it wasn't the right time, and it seems like maybe with this connection, it's not so extremes. You know, some twin flame connections are, one is very, very masculine and one is very, very feminine. This almost felt like it was a little bit on the spectrum. It wasn't so, extreme. And so it was like you knew. A lot of times it's the masculine that knows it's not the right time, but it's like you knew it wasn't the right time. So you, even being that empathic energy, pushed away a little bit during this process. And, that runner chaser was between the two of you. So kudos to you for knowing that there was more work to be done, and that it wouldn't really be that lasting connection if it was done sooner. So yeah, good for you for just taking that time to really work on yourself and trust in the process. And yeah, so just keep doing that work. And if you need extra help, there's a link in the description and for my Etsy shop, and you can also join our Twin Flame Journey to Empowerment group on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching pile number 2, Orange Calcite. Have a great day. Pile number 3, we've got the Lapis Lazuli. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, so we've got your surrender card. Oh, and you got 2 of them. And your action card, which is your law of attraction card. Okay, so your surrender cards are surrender to fear, and the other one is surrender defensiveness. So this is a very blocked situation, especially we've got the 2 surrender cards. So surrender to fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Okay, so defensiveness means you're still reacting out of old stories, old patterns, fears. That's what defensiveness means. It means you haven't healed those old stories, those old karmic loops. And when you haven't healed them, you keep going around and around in a circle, never evolving, never shifting that energy into a more enlightened space, into more love and understanding and compassion. So really clear out those low vibrations, because this energy also mirrors to your twin flame counterpart. So as an empath, it's our job to break those old karmic loops, heal those cycles, and come into a more empowered state. And if that's something you need help with, I do have an Etsy shop in the description, and I do coaching and do more in-depth reads to really help people break through those barriers. And on my Twin Flame Journey to Empowerment group on Facebook, I also do flash sales every so often for readings and energy work. And I'm a certified medium in my 3rd year of mediumship study, so I've a lot of extensive training that I've done for this. And for your law of attraction card, we have within 60 days, it can be mine. So really setting those intentions to really help you shift that thought process. As you give thought to your future that may be 10 years or 60 days away, you begin pre-paving. And then as you move into those pre-paved moments, and as the future becomes your present, you fine-tune it by saying, this is what I now want. And all those pre-paved thoughts will fit together to bring you precisely the experience that you now want to live. So just a little bit of, quite a bit of healing that still needs to be done, but it's a process, and trust in those baby steps, because every bit helps to shift your energy. And knowing that you have the power to do that healing work, and find people that can help you to do that healing work, to pick up the speed more, because sometimes when we don't work on it, a twin flame connection can last 14 years, and sometimes you don't even come into union within this lifetime. It's all divine timing, which is what you put into the healing work. It's all energetic resonance. So if you don't do anything, it doesn't change anything. If you actively work towards shifting your frequency, it shifts the connection into union, because that's why they're set up. They're set up so we evolve the planet. We heal ourselves and evolve the planet to become conscious co-creators and create a healthier world. So, the only thing that's going to give us that push is that divine counterpart that made us feel like home in the beginning. So they gave us a taste of what it's like, and then we got to work for it. So there's, you can reach out if you need that extra help. And so I'm going to pull the 2 tarot cards for the energetic resonance with the connection. Okay, we've got 4 of Swords and Queen of Swords. Swords is that air energy, that mind space, the thoughts. It says rest, contemplation, restore. Queen of Swords is perceptive and clear. Okay, so this connection is at a space, and this connection always mirrors each other, where it's time to really think and contemplate and really restore. How has it been going? What's been working? What hasn't? Where are my fears? Where do I need to uproot some things and really shift? And how can I get to that space that I'm shifting it? Because a lot of times those fears are a comfort zone. Everything you want is beyond fear. How can I do that? So really get into that contemplative state. If I need help, reach out. I need to, get to a space where I'm clear, right? And once you're clear and aware and conscious of those patterns and loops, you can shift them from there. Okay, so this is a connection that needs to really get clear with where they are, and from there, their connection will strengthen. But right now, it's The heart and mind is completely separate because it's more rooted in fear. But it's all right. We got the power to get there. Nothing is set in stone except for our highest life path. Okay. So we've got I'm shit with words, which would make sense because it's a mirroring connection. So if you're in a space of fear, they're also in that intense space and they don't know how to express themselves, just as you are having a hard time breaking out of loops because you're still working on figuring out how to work through them. Okay, and then, but I'm so in love with you. Okay, so this bond, no matter what, can't be broken. There's always that deep yearning, that deep love, but it's worlds apart when the heart and mind is not in balance. When that yin yang is not in balance, it's worlds apart. There's still a love, but it takes work, and the empath has to lead the way. Okay, and then we've got our healing card. Transformation. Okay, beautiful. So that's you really starting to make those intentions that you want to shift this shit show. You want to get some movement. So it's almost like this person is going into the cocooning stage, just like the cards back here, those tarot cards. It said, rest, contemplation, restore. And when you're in that cocooning stage, that's what's happening before you come into that transformation. So this is the time when you really need to get a hold of those karmic loops and, you know, shift them. Okay, so right now you're figuring out, what's my plan? Where am I going to go with it? What am I going to do? And this is a message from you to your divine counterpart. I think about you all of the time. Okay. I think about you all of the time. Yeah, it's your divine counterpart, right? Of course. And that's what's going to give you that push to move forward and bring it into fruition, is, you know, shifting your consciousness, raising your vibe. This is set up a certain way to do that, so you can heal you, which in turn heals the world. As we become whole, we attract our whole counterpart. It's all an interconnected, beautiful array of coming together into oneness. So happy healing, and I wish you the best on your journey. Thank you for joining.